All right, welcome in everybody. Daniel, this is our ninth season, and it is wild to think we have had 58 schools on, and we have yet to have the University of Oklahoma. But right now, not only are we going to be able to talk to an Oklahoma Sooner, we're going to get into some more gymnastics, and we're going to talk to a star, a champion. So, with that being said, how are you doing, Danielle?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We are fantastic. We love getting the story of athletes. As we told you, love getting to talk to you ladies. We need to break it up a little bit more. Like you came on with enthusiasm, smiling. We talked to so many dudes. We got to bring on some more smiling faces with the girls who bring the energy. Because Daniel, wouldn't you agree? The guys don't bring the same energy.
No, we have to work really hard with some of these dudes. And like I just don't get paid enough. Jim don't pay me enough to work that hard.
Oh, I was supposed to pay you. My bad.
Yeah, dude. Starving over here,
I've
man.
been I've been pocketing all of it, but that's my bad. But moving on, we're gonna talk
It's
about
supposed
her.
to be hot tea and it's just hot water now.
But Danielle, let's get into it. Let's do some icebreakers before we get into your story. This is a fun question that Daniel put on here that we like to ask the guests, and it's if you could be any Disney character, who would you be?
Oh gosh. That's tough. I'm a big Disney fan. Probably Cinderella. I don't really know why, but I've always loved Cinderella growing up,
I
so
mean, she has a castle. I mean, that's
right?
a good start, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
sure.
that's the
I'll go
first
with
thing.
Cinderella. I don't
I
know.
mean, Daniel, I don't know about you. First time I hit Disney World, the first thing we did was go take that pic in front of the castle, right? Like that's what you do.
Let me tell you about Disney World now. They know how to really like get you amped up and then all of a sudden make you feel really frustrated and then like have a very magical experience. I don't know how they do it, but it's just a roller coaster of emotions. But if you've ever been and you have to wait in line for the ferry to go to Magic Kingdom, don't ever use the ferry. Always use the monorail. It's
But I'll tell you what changes the game, Daniel. The first time I went with my wife without the kids, the lines aren't so bad when you're not dealing with the kids.
nah, I don't know. I don't think I've been by myself. That's the thing.
Do it. I know people think it's just a kids
No,
thing.
it's weird, dude. That's strange.
No, me and my wife had a
I make fun of
magical
people like
time.
you. I make fun of people like you that go there for their weddings and they're just hanging out because that's the vacation. Nah, man. I got
Whatever. All right, moving on. All right, Danielle, right now, I mean, I'm not talking about all time, but right now, who's the musician, band, whoever it may be that you're listening to, like number one right now?
Bailey Zimmerman.
All right, you're gonna have to educate me. Who's that?
Uh, he's I would say he's a country singer. I'm a big country music fan, so I'd say Baylor Zimmerman or Morgan Wallen
That
are
explains
my
why I
top
don't know it,
two.
Daniel. I'm not country's not exactly my forte, Daniel. I'm not gonna lie to you, but hey, if you like it, I like it. You know what? I'll have Daniel erase the intro we got and do a new one just so he can get mad at me because he doesn't get paid. And we're gonna have Zimmerman in there. We're gonna do it.
nah, bro,
Oh,
because
sweet.
I crush this one. This one
Well, I
like
don't care. I don't.
not like the last one. The last one it wasn't my best, but this one I'm telling you,
Well, I don't care.
you
I
listen to
now I
that
now
and you'll
need
be
it.
like,
I need the
man,
country music flow, bro. All
this is
right,
this is what you need. Let's give this a little listen.
you gonna have the crowd into it like that too?
I mean, this is a whole video. You should see this. This
Yeah,
guy's
this is religiously. This is like one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah, we can't have that. He'll steal the show from you. Never mind. That voice behind you, you'll become irrelevant.
let me tell you this. If you were watching what I'm watching, Jim, you could depict what is going on right now just because you know all about like what a country music video consists of.
Does it
I,
look like
I
they're in Starkville?
yes, it does. Like a little diner. And then what's even better is he's looking at his phone reminiscing about some girl and then like you see the girl like flash back or flash forward, I don't know, but he's just sitting all alone. It is a typical.
Typical country song.
Yeah, it
Typical
I'm
is.
all in.
country
I'm
artist.
I'm going to listen tomorrow on the cruise now.
Oh, perfect.
With that being said, if you were going to sing karaoke, I have a feeling it's going to be in the country genre. What is your song that you would pick?
Honestly, for karaoke, I do it with my friends, and I could do like Downtown by Macklemore. It's not country at all. Or I could do the riff off from Pitch Perfect. Me and my friends
Oh, let's
really
go.
jam out
Sign
to
me
that
up to see that. I want to be there to see that.
song. We have
Daniel,
fun with it.
Daniel, I have a trivia question for you. What college was Pitch Perfect shot at?
I don't know because I'm grooving to Macklemore.
Danielle, do you know?
I don't know. Where is it?
That was actually filmed at LSU.
No way.
This is actually a
100%.
good like
Very
trivia like question music in the background.
Well, Daniel, now you know. You probably haven't even seen Pitch Perfect, have you?
I think I've seen one of them.
One of them. You better see the first one because the first one is the one.
I mean, I think that's
Okay.
probably the one that I've seen. But
I've seen it enough for both of us. I promise you. Me, my wife, and daughter. That's like a go-to movie when we like just need something to watch. Like it's feel good movie.
man,
Absolutely.
you watching some weak stuff. But
Anyways, moving on. All right, last one. Got to know you were just in Vegas. You know, obviously a lot of things to see. I've been there like 8, 9 times. What was your favorite place like when you were going down the strip, hotel, you know, resort, you know, what just stood out to you the most?
I mean, we didn't do a ton this year. Last year, we actually stayed for a couple more days than we did this year, and we got to go to a Cirque show last year. So I would say in Vegas, that was probably my favorite part since I've gone a couple of times. But we didn't have a lot of time to do a ton of other activities.
That's a shame. They don't just let college kids run free in Vegas. What are they doing?
I know, right?
it's too early in the season, is what it
Yeah.
is.
Win a third straight national championship, they'll take you back.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you win a third one, y'all gonna get invited back. They're gonna be like, come on, draw a crowd. All right, Danny, and I'm gonna call you Danny because on all the clips that I see, everyone else calls you Danny. So
Yep.
You
Perfect.
may have not got that status yet though, Daniel. That may be her friends.
maybe, but I'm putting good mojo out there by saying that if I put it out there, she's gonna let us be her friend.
For sure.
All right, so we got to start from the beginning. We got to get to your story. So let's talk hometown. Tell me a little bit about where you're from.
So I'm from Gary, South Dakota. It's a town of probably, like I said, I don't know the exact number, but 300 about.
Ooh,
South Dakota. Is it cold there? How cold
Yeah,
is it?
very cold. They just had a blizzard, I think, either today or yesterday, but yeah, it's
What
pretty
is-
cold up there.
so
What
Daniel,
is
you just told Daniel how he will never go there, basically.
My daughter asked me today, she was like, "Can you take me to see snow?" And I was thinking to myself, yes, but really I was like, hell no.
He moved to Florida for a reason.
Let me ask this. A blizzard in my eyes is like 6 inches of snow. How in South Dakota, South Dakotans,
Yeah.
what do they consider a blizzard?
I would say a lot of blowing snow, zero visibility, and just like hardcore coming down.
So not like really accumulation, it's just a couple of different factors.
Yeah,
So
zero
Yeah.
visibility.
I
Yeah,
get a few
visibility.
inches of snow, but if it's blowing all over the place and you can't see it, and we're talking like big flakes.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Big
sure.
flakes like Disney style flakes, those big
There
ones.
you go. Yeah, Frozen was shot there. That's your next
telling you.
trivia.
Probably, yeah.
Have you been to Mount Rushmore?
I have. I mean, I live probably 7 hours from Mount Rushmore. I live on the other side of the state, but I have been a couple times.
Is it
And it's
magical?
pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't say it's magical. I mean, it's cool to see once, but that's about it.
Because like when you like see like I think that's like a world wonder.
It
Not
is. It's one of the wonders of the world.
so like in my eyes, you know, when you see those things, you're like blown away. Like maybe not every time if you live there and you're like used to going, but like the first couple times you see it, it's got to be like breathtaking. Is it so what you're saying is it's a big disappointment?
No, no. I'm not
But
saying
it's not. I think I
sad.
know what she's saying. It's not like when you go to Niagara Falls, right? It's not something that every time you see, like, it just amazes you. Grand Canyon is the same way. That's one of them. I've been to it. I think she's saying because it's just it is what it is, right? It's an amazing sight, but after you've seen it once, it's like, okay.
Like the
Yeah,
Black Hills where it's located, it's such a beautiful area. So if you're going out to see Mount Rushmore, you guys like stay in the Black Hills because it's really pretty.
the 3 days a year where the weather's nice there, it's beautiful.
Yes, yes, the 3 days, it's perfect.
No, I kid. Obviously that's somewhere where I would like to go, but for whatever reason, I just don't foresee my life path taking me to South Dakota.
Yeah, it doesn't usually for many, but if you do go, go in the summertime.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get those Oculus goggles and I'll just like virtually go there and it'll look like I'm really
Same.
right there.
I
It'd be amazing.
think that's a good idea.
The metaverse, the metaverse version of Mount Rushmore. All right, so tell me a little bit about your family. You got brothers, sisters, mom, dad.
Yes, my mom and dad, and then I have an older sister. She actually was a gymnast at Iowa State, and she's currently in med school. And then my older brother was a wrestler at South Dakota State, and now he's in optometry school. And
Uh-oh.
then me, and then my younger brother is a freshman in high school, and he's actually on Team USA for wakeboarding.
Well, good grief.
Can, can we have a little bit of that?
And then on top of that,
Athleticism,
Daniel, yeah, it
brain.
wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't just athleticism. Notice after each career comes the medical field.
See, yeah, Danny's gonna get on here and be all bubbly and have this great personality, and she's super athletic. We haven't got into academics, but like I don't even have to even
She's
ask. I'm
gonna be
sure
a
she's like a
neurosurgeon.
9 point. Yeah, like it's crazy. So your brother went to optometry school. Did he go to Ohio? Did he go to Pennsylvania? Where did this guy go?
He's actually in Phoenix. I think it's Midwestern. I
Uh,
don't remember the name of the school, but he's currently in Phoenix studying. So
fun fact: there's not many optometry schools in the country.
that's what we've learned when he was applying. There's not a lot of options out there, but thankfully he was
Where
smart
did where
enough
did
to get in a
Michelle go,
few. But
Daniel?
Michelle went to Nova Southeastern in
Oh,
Florida.
this okay, gotcha. Yeah, his wife is one. That's why he was intrigued.
very
Yep.
cool. Very
Know a
cool.
lot about the eyes, more than I thought I would ever know. But um, obviously, pour one out for Iowa State football. Sister went there, gymnast. Sorry, my Tigers put it on them this past weekend. But outside of that, you got a huge, siblings of all athleticisms, academics. Growing up, any pressure from mom and dad to like fit a mold and to be all of that, or you just came out this way,
Um, I don't think we really had pressure from our parents. They were in full support from the beginning. I mean, me and my sister used to go to a gym that was probably 45 minutes from my house. And then when she decided, like, I want to go do college gym, we actually switched gyms, which is an hour and 45 minutes from our house. And my parents would drive us back every single day. And
Did you
yeah,
go?
so
Did you have to go to Canada for this?
no,
Like,
Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, but yeah, no, they never pressured us into anything, but they definitely instilled hard work and academics came first if we wanted to do sports. So yeah, I guess from the beginning we were pretty dedicated, I guess.
so obviously, being a gymnast, especially at an elite level that you're at, it takes dedication. So at what point do you start doing gymnastics, and then when does that become competitive? Because I think when people start, it's fun and like you're learning fundamentals and basics, but there's no competitive nature to it other than you trying new things and trying to get better. So at what point does it stop becoming that and it starts becoming competitive for you?
I would say it's probably different for each athlete, but when my sister and I decided to switch gyms, I think I was 9 years old, and that coach saw some potential in me, and that's kind of where it took out from there. I'd always have fun in the sport, but I think that's when I really started to take it serious.
So basically, a coach from another gym was like, "Hey, Danny, like you don't really want to be at your gym. Like you're way better than that. Like come on over here."
I don't know about that, but it all worked out, so.
Danielle is getting NIL money from other gyms to go.
Before it was a thing.
Right, right. So at 9, you start this competitive mode. Was there an athlete at that time that inspired you, or were you just kind of, was it a gymnast? Was it another athlete, or was it just, you're just doing you?
I always grew up watching the Olympics. So I would say if we're talking about Olympians, I would say Nasti Lukin. My gymnastics is nothing like hers, but she's someone I always look up to. But honestly, my sister, um, just from the beginning, she's the reason I'm even in the sport. So I've always looked up to her and wanted to, do the same things that she was doing. So that's kind of how I got
Let
into
me
it.
let me tell you something about Nastia Lukin, right? She's always on TV doing the commentary for these events, wearing these bizarre outfits, trying to
Yeah.
trying to make. I promise you, she's trying to make it about her. Like, it aggravates me. It just so much. But I mean, I guess when you're one of the best gymnasts in the world at one time, like, you can do that. And I'm not, so I can't do that except sit at home and be mad about it. Um, you you're a level 10 gymnast out of All American Gymnastics under the direction of Jean Luke and Kelly Coutura. Talk to us about your club and what it was like being a part of that. Um, and what did that do for school life, being that competitive and that close and that tight knit with a gymnastics group when you're in school environment? Is it more so like your head's down and you're just kind of doing your own thing? Or are you bubbly and social like what we see now?
I would say I'm pretty outgoing. I like to talk to people. I like to have fun. I mean, while I'm at the gym, it's a grind, but if you have fun, it makes it all worth it. So I would say I'm pretty outgoing in the gym, no matter what. But for school, I would only go to school probably half days and then do the other half online because I live so far from the gym. So I didn't really have like a high school normal kid life, I would say. So most of my time was spent in the car doing homework and at the gym. So that's kind of how
I feel
Yeah.
like
balanced it.
outside of what maybe was it Ella Burgess, but we've only had one gymnast that actually said they went to a regular high school. Every rest of them have had some sort of different setup like you did. A lot of them even homeschooled.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
it's
it
really common.
KJ who didn't go and then went to school
Yeah.
like last year?
But
So
she also had a curveball with the whole shins thing. So
right.
if she
Yeah,
would
I
have
mean,
went to the Olympics and not been injured like that, that'd have been different.
yeah, for sure. That was the direction I was going to go, because it seems to be this trend that, you know, to be elite gymnast, you have to decide how you're going to handle school life. And some people decide to do a split schedule where they do part-time. Some people decide to just do homeschool altogether. Some people say, well, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to try to balance it all. Um, did you find it to be, did you feel like it took anything away or added more to your development by only going part-time?
I think it was great that I went part-time just because it was great for me to socialize with people other than just my gymnastics teammates. I did homeschool for 2 years and I just didn't like it. So I went back to school and I think it really helped me socially.
So are you able to go to like sporting events at the school and like proms and stuff like that? Are you invited to those things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm invited to all of the school activities that they have. I rarely had time to make it to them, but on Fridays for Friday Night Lights, I would try to make it to as many football games as I could, but with practice, it was kind of hard to make it to any of those.
Yeah. Jim, could you imagine like if I would have been good at everything if my guidance counselor in high school would have been like, "Oh, hey man, like you can go half the day and then you can practice
Right.
the other half."
Well,
I would have been
now
like, "Okay."
nowadays, I've told you about it, and I told you about it, but you were a principal in school, so you already know about it. So I say it like as if you didn't know. But my daughter getting to do soccer practice in school is wild to me. Like, and Danielle, I don't know how it was like it because of the way your school was set up, but nowadays, like, I mean, me and Daniel, it was practice, whether it's baseball or football, it was always right after school. Now These kids get to do it while they're in school for one of their classes and then still do the stuff after school. So it's definitely helping them all get better. But we didn't get that luxury, man. We had to have 7 periods of straight schooling. That's why I left school all the time, Daniel. I can only do so much in a day.
Jim did a half schedule. He was part-time.
Look,
That's
I
why
have
he
never
that's why he was full-time English his senior year, because he had to take 2 of them.
true story, Danielle. I passed 10th grade English, no problem. But then they came to me the summer before my senior year and said that it had been reported that I did not show up to class enough. Therefore, I had to go back for a semester. So I would go from second period 12th grade English to third period 10th grade English. No lie. And Daniel thought it was so funny.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Everybody else is in study hall doing their thing, having the same senior lunch, and homeboys over there
You wonder
another
why you
doing
wonder why I
another
left school at
10th
lunch every
grade.
day. You wonder why I left school at lunch every day. You do 2 Englishes back to back and tell me how you feel.
I mean, I would just do one every year and be okay. But you do you, man. All right, Danny. So 3-time national floor champion, 2018 Junior Olympic national champion member, earning 4th place finish in the all around and a 5th place on the vault at the 2018 Junior Olympic national championships. You excelled at the state and regional levels. You earned 1st place finish on the floor at regionals 3 years in a row. At the state level, you earned 1st place on vault, bars, floor, and in the all around 2018. The 1st place on the floor and vault and all around in 2019. So when you look at this kind of success, at what point does colleges come to you, or was that not the option? Was doing something different an option?
So I was actually, it was before the rules changed. So I was originally recruited in 8th grade, by some schools. My recruiting journey was kind of crazy, so I switched commitments my senior year. But yeah, it started 8th grade. So I was talking to schools for a while, I guess. I'm
Who
not sure
came
what
first? I want to know who came first.
I'm sorry.
I want to know who came first. Who was the first one to come contact you?
University of Nebraska.
Wasted no time.
And
But you know what? But
you were
you know,
like, if I wanted to go to Lincoln, Nebraska, I would just stay in South Dakota, because it's probably the same thing.
the thing is, Daniel, I will never knock whoever's first because Danielle, I'll tell you, me and Daniel will tell you, we've been doing this long enough. Half the guests chose the school they did because they were first, whether because they appreciated that they came first or because there was such a gap. And the thing about it is, because you talked about the rule change, a lot of them have said they wish there was rule change because they committed before they got better and a lot more offers came. So had they been able had to wait till junior year, they wouldn't have made that 9th through 10th grade decision.
hmm
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think the rule change is great for athletes nowadays because I mean when you're that young, you don't really know what you want, honestly. Like all you care about is sports, but there's a lot of different aspects that go into the decision, like schooling and location. So I think it's a great change for athletes nowadays.
You know what's wild, Jim, is Danielle couldn't even stay out past dark yet, and they're asking for a college commitment. It's just wild. Like, these are wild. Like, hey, you're in 8th grade, and I just want to know, do you want to commit not in the next 4 years, but 5 years? In 5 years from now, do you want to go to our school?
I mean, think about it. My son's in middle school. You know how he is. Imagine having him make a life-changing decision right now.
It's crazy.
He would choose Mississippi State undoubtedly, though, Daniel. It's a wrap.
Well, I think he would inevitably choose that, but he would feel bad about choosing Mississippi State, even though that's the right choice for him. He would just feel bad that he would have to tell the others no.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you end up getting recruited. What were your top 3 schools once you started really talking about, all right, where am I going to go?
So Nebraska, University of Utah, and University of Oklahoma.
I mean,
I hear they're pretty good at gymnastics across the board. I don't know.
Nebraska, hey, that number 1 was still in the mix at the end. I mean, tell you what. So, of the 3, obviously, we know that you chose Oklahoma, but what was it about Oklahoma that the others didn't give you?
Gosh, I don't even know where to start. excuse me. But
From the beginning.
from
That's
the beginning,
the best place.
when I first visited, I think I visited here in eighth grade as well, but Oklahoma just does everything different. KJ and the coaching staff are just incredible. From the moment I got here, I just felt so welcomed and I felt like I was going to be a part of this big family. And now that I'm here, I see the family. Like we're all so close, but they truly care about you in and out of the gym. And that was really something special that I necessarily feel at the other schools. So I would say Oklahoma is just second to none in all aspects.
Yeah, that's the top aspect for no matter what the sport is, no matter what the school. When an athlete goes somewhere and they feel like they're at home and they have that family environment, clearly that's where they want to go. They want to go somewhere where they're not going to feel, that pressure that they feel because they're away from home, get homesick and everything. Where do I feel comfortable that I'll, especially coming from where you're coming from because you're going far away. And with that, I got to ask, Oklahoma is a big school. You come from a town of 300, like you said. Was there a culture shock when you got there?
I would honestly, Norman, it has like a small town feel. So when I got here, I didn't feel like it was that crazy of a change. Everyone here is so nice, kind of like people up north. So I just felt at home and felt like everyone around here was so welcoming. So it wasn't really a crazy change for me.
Nice. So freshman year, you waste no time. We got first team All American on the floor, second team All American on the bars, Big 12 floor champion, named to the All Big 12 championship team on the floor, competed as the leadoff on bars in every meet. I mean, how are you able to have so much success as a freshman? And was it something that you expected or, higher than your expectations ever could have been?
Um, I guess I've always wanted to compete at this level, so I guess I just wasn't really scared to compete on the big stage. So I think I was just more excited and willing to do whatever the team needed me to do. So I was just really grateful for the opportunity that the coaches gave me and was willing to do everything I could for the team. So
Yeah, and we always like to spotlight, whenever you have academic accomplishments. But now that we've gotten to the first part of this episode and you talk about what school life was like, anyways, so I really want to spotlight, talking about the words student athlete, you were academic all Big 12, talk about what the importance of was, you said your parents, it was something that they ingrained in y'all, right? But putting that whole student and student athlete.
yeah, so I'd say it's a lot of motivation and discipline. Um, I guess from a young age, I've always really cared about school, and that's never changed throughout my life. So, really prioritizing getting things done throughout the day and making sure I stay on top of all my schoolwork and all of my grades because I put a lot of importance on that. And school comes first. So, yeah, so that's how I kind of balance it. But I make sure there's time for everything in the day. So.
Absolutely. So I was looking at all the freshman year meets for you, and there were so many good ones that leads me to ask this question. What was your favorite for you personally first? Not as a team, but for you personally.
Hmm.
See,
Um,
that's how you know she had a good season, Daniel. She can't even like most athletes can pinpoint that one. They know that shining moment. She's like, oh, well, I had this one, this one.
no, I would say it's either Big 12s or my day two nationals because that was pretty magical day, I suppose.
No doubt. What was so this will probably be easier to remember. What was your favorite as a team?
Oh, for my freshman year?
Yeah.
Nationals for
Oh,
sure.
I know what it'll be your sophomore year. No worries.
Yeah.
So now that you have a year under your belt going into your sophomore year, you said you were already not scared of that stage, what's it like now? Because you have this year under your belt, you have this experience. Like, I mean, are you not to say that you're arrogant, you're confident, to be clear, but like, what's that confidence level like going into year two?
I would say my confidence has definitely grown since I was a freshman. I mean, just being surrounded by so many great athletes. All my teammates are so amazing. So it's a lot of healthy competition in the gym. So we're all working towards the same goal and working to try and get in those lineup spots. So I feel like all of our confidence just builds off of each other.
So you come off winning a national championship. What is the pressure like, to do it again? Because we don't have too many guests that win them back to back. Is there the same motivation? Is there extra pressure? Talk about what that's like.
I would say there's always going to be pressure coming off a national championship. I mean, we felt it our first year too, or I guess last year. But it's a new team, it's a new year, and we start from square one starting in August. So I think we leave the past championship behind and we work towards that new goal of winning another one. So I'd say we don't really put too much pressure on ourselves. All we can do is focus on each meet and try to improve.
Yeah, so in the championship, somewhere you tied the sixth best NCAA championship score with a 9.95 on the floor. What's the emotion like? Floor is my favorite part. I talked to you before the episode about being there live, the music, seeing the whole team get into the routine. It's wild. I'd have enough trouble remembering my own stuff, let alone everybody else's stuff, but they all somehow know all y'all's routines and they get into it. The music is loud. It's just, like I said, something that TV just doesn't bring. But you get a 9.95 on floor on the biggest stage with your team. Just talk about the emotions like as soon as you wrap that thing up.
Gosh, it's kind of hard to describe. All I could feel is excitement. I mean, before I went, I was already excited to go. But yeah, it's kind of an indescribable feeling. Just looking at the crowd, looking at our fans, and then looking at my team just celebrating in the corner. I think it's just something you can't really describe. It was truly amazing. Yeah, really grateful.
And I think it's cool. So you choose Oklahoma for the obvious reason. You go to win national championships, period. You're an elite gymnast. It's all about where you can go to compete, do it. And you win two championships, not one, but two. You put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Like, just talk about how good it feels knowing that you made the right decision. There's no other way to put it. Like, just if you wouldn't have won the championship, it's not saying you made the wrong decision, but the idea that you win two championships, clearly you made the right one. So talk about just how much fulfillment you get knowing that you picked the right spot. Not only did you have the family atmosphere, but you're getting it done with titles.
Yeah, I kind of think about it a lot. Like I couldn't imagine myself any other place. I think I was put on this team for a reason, and the good Lord brought me here, and I'm really grateful for that. But it's always been a dream of mine to win a national championship, and I knew that that was something that we could do at the University of Oklahoma. So yeah, I'm very grateful and blessed to have had this opportunity to be here.
Yeah, so obviously you get academic all first team again. So shout out to you again. Obviously, don't have to touch back on that. We get it. Your family is athletic and smart. Me and Daniel got nothing. Sievers got it all. It's all good. Maybe next time around, y'all can share it with us. But all jokes aside, shout out to you. But what was your favorite moment in that season? Was it undoubtedly, hoisting that trophy with your team? What was it?
Last season was really exciting. I think our team set a couple records. I mean, Big 12s was a really exciting meet for us. Um, Gosh, it's hard to pinpoint
Well,
just
let
one.
me ask it. Let me ask this then. All right, because we know the atmosphere at home is electric. What was your favorite? Let me ask this. What was your favorite one that y'all had on the road? Like where y'all went and maybe it was an intense, you were going up, best on best, and y'all, pulled it out in their house type deal.
Hmm.
She's like, none of them. We just went in there and rolled.
No, 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 no,
Yeah, you beat
no,
everybody. I mean,
no, I'm not saying that. I would say
he's like, let me
LSU was
answer your
fun.
question a little bit easier, Jim. There was no one.
No,
Everybody fell.
no, 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 no. We went to LSU last year, and that crowd is pretty electric.
I
Yeah,
was in that crowd.
really, yeah.
I was highly disappointed though, not in y'all. Hyatt Johnson is family to me and Daniel. Obviously, she went down against Kentucky in the week before,
Mhm.
and I never thought I would shed tears over someone that came on this show, but I did. Seeing her cry on that floor and her to actually watch the climb to get ready for last Friday, and I had to see that on episode 4 again. Hurt just the same, but I went there and it just going against the number one team and not having your leader and one of your stars, it felt wrong. And you hear the girls talk about that's the cool about the climb. They had to emotionally get over that. They talked about it, seeing that happen to her in that meet itself, but then knowing that they had to step up. Now we know in the long run it paid off, which I would have never bet on, Danielle. I'll be clear. I never thought that team would step up like that in her absence, and they did. And so shout out to them. But when you lose someone like that, and then you have the number one team coming in. Like y'all already, let's call it what it is. Y'all are scary. I was with the parents. Trust me, I know they were intimidated by y'all's presence being there. And then, hey, by the way, our one of our two best, it's her and Haley, and then she's also, like I said, the leader, and she's not competing. So it was tough, but it was good to see y'all. I will say this though, like I told Daniel, I messaged him afterward. Like, especially like I think of things like beam. I watched Ohio State last week. They had multiple girls fall off the beam. LSU did too. Like y'all were like a well-oiled machine. Y'all come in there like very little mistakes, and beam is my way of like judging everybody. And when a team is not like falling off the beam, like okay, that's some bull.
It
I laugh because the beam. You should see Jim. Jim has
I
done
got on the
a
beam.
beam routine.
I would love to see that. That'd be
I don't
awesome.
like to show it. I can't believe I even
Go
showed
over
it.
to Twitter and at IOTV producer, and you will see. Go to videos and you'll
the
see.
the main
Okay.
reason I shared it was because of Alona's commentary through it, where she's like, "I don't know if he's gonna make it. Should I give him help? I don't know what to do." Like the commentary to it, but I got up successfully, walked it, and then decided a trick was not in my best interest and got off.
Wait a minute.
That's awesome.
I took like three
Your
steps before you say I walked. I took like three
your
steps,
level of success is very very skewed here, buddy.
but hey, I was in jeans for crying out loud.
That's impressive.
Now, let
That's
me tell you where I messed up was I decided to really feel myself and do the bars afterward, Danielle, with no
okay.
grips.
Oh
And I'm going to tell
gosh.
you, swinging on that thing with no grips, that thing, I only was on it for like a couple minutes. It tore my hand up.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, the bars can
He
really screw you up there.
he looked like a baby horse learning to walk for the first time, and then they finally stand up, but like the inevitable, they're going to fall. Um,
I
but
challenge you to do
he
anything
also
in there.
looked like I guarantee you, I look way better than you.
Oh,
100%.
I also outweigh you by like 50 pounds.
That's doesn't matter, but I mean, okay, sure. But I mean, he just looked awkward. He was like me when I held his son for the first time. It just very awkward, like
I forgot
uncomfortable.
all about that. It's funny that you have two kids and you're such a good dad now. I forgot that you were so awkward that I didn't want you to hold my kid anymore because I really didn't know what you were going to do.
I mean, it's your kid. Like,
I know, but your arms were so stiff. I didn't like. I mean, I was scared.
one, I didn't really want to hold your kid. I was just being nice, and I should have
Dang.
just was been
And you
rude.
wonder why he don't like you.
I mean, he doesn't like me because he has a terrible sense of what a good comic book hero is, and he doesn't know what school he likes one day, and he talks a lot of junk, and like, you know, no, I love that kid,
Good.
but we don't see eye to eye always. But Danny, we got to talk about this year because that's the big thing. Obviously, we just had you guys come off of the Mean Girls Super 16. And let me ask you this. What do you think about the Mean Girls sponsorship in this whole thing? Like,
It was cool. I didn't know really the extent that it was gonna be. I mean, we got to see the premiere, so that was pretty cool. Pink carpet.
that's what I was going to ask. I was like,
Yeah.
out of all this pumping up, did you even get to see the movie, or are they going to make you go see the movie on the 12th when it
No,
comes out and
they
pay
they
your own
got
gas?
they got us in the theater and we saw the movie, got a whole like pink carpet experience. It was fun. All the teams were there, so it was a good bonding experience for the team, that's for sure.
Was it a good movie? Was it funny?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Because I watched the first one, and I felt like I was angry at some points. I was like, there's everything wrong with what I was just like, ah, but inevitably it was fine. But so let's start with that. You put up the best all around score in the country. How do you feel as a team after competing in Vegas? Now that it's all said and done, it's all over with. Like, are you looking back and going, all right, that was a great step? Or is it, all right, we did what we were supposed to do. Now let's focus on the next one?
I would say it was a great starting point for our team. It was definitely a confidence booster. I think our whole team was pretty confident going in, pretty loose, and I think that's great for the start of the season, like get all the nerves out. But yeah, it's a good starting point, and we're just focusing on what we can improve for next week. I guess this week, but yeah.
What gymnasts on your team, outside of yourself, obviously, impressed you the most?
Kat Lavasser, that's for sure. I'm so proud of her. She's really killing it this year. I mean, she competed all around, I think, for the first time, and she just absolutely nailed it. So I'm really proud of her. She's definitely a standout this weekend.
See, that's what the sign of good teams and good culture and like leadership and all that, those positive attributes that you look for with champions is that you get excited and happy and you want to see other people's accomplishments almost more than you want yourself to achieve it.
I can say that for LSU, Amari Drayton finished on floor for LSU, and I have never seen them girls so excited for someone else. And if you check their social medias, I mean, that's all they talked about. Because she shut it down, and for her to come in there on her first floor routine and do it like that. And so, to your point, Daniel, love seeing the girls get so excited more for their teammates than they do themselves.
It's really rewarding to see all of my teammates' hard work pay off because we work so hard, and for them to finally get it out there and get on the floor and just do so well is just it's really rewarding to see, not only for them, but just for everyone around.
I
All
don't
right.
think there's a better sport when you talk about team, when you talk about camaraderie. We do all these sports. Me and Daniel, we go watch them all, we cover them all. I just don't see what I see with gymnastics. You talked about family just as a whole with Oklahoma, but when you talk about a team, there's no team that's more like a family than a gymnastics team.
Yeah,
We
I would agree with that. Yeah.
we talk a lot of baseball as well, and we talk about the difficulty, but I would say, just the amount of room for error is so narrow in gymnastics, which in my eyes, like it forces you to have to like pick each other up because you might go out and kill it, but it might not be the best score,
Hmm.
and vice versa. You might go out and know that you could do better, and you just have to be ready for the next one. And that's tough when you know that, hundredths of a tenth of a point, is the determining factor in some of these scores, and it's crazy. Um, so when you're looking at the other teams that competed at the Super 16, what is one team that you came away from the weekend going, man, they are really good?
I think Cal Berkeley is an underrated team. I think they're really great. I mean, I think all the teams that competed this weekend are amazing, but I mean, I have some friends on the Cal Berkeley team, but I think overall they're really good.
So what do we expect to see? When should we expect to see you? That's the big question.
Well, I'm hoping as soon as possible. I had a little injury right before season started that kind of held me back a little bit, but I'm working my way back up and starting to get some numbers in. So hopefully, I'll be out there soon.
So is there a timeline in your head for it, or you're just kind of just whenever your body says you're ready, you're ready?
Yeah, I would say there's not necessarily a timeline, but I guess mostly focusing on the end goal and being healthy for when Um, I mean, I'm needed hopefully later in the year, but really as soon as I can, I would love to be out there competing for my team because
All
that's
all I know is old Danny here, Daniel, didn't give me any kind of, indication. I tell her I look forward to watching her. Should have said, "Hey, by the way, I'm not actually be competing." So here I'm going to watch, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Is she hurt? Like,
It's the ultimate team player because she's getting your eyes on other people.
absolutely all for the team.
Because I mean, if
well,
if she would have been like, "Hey, man, I'm not going to be competing," you would have been like, "All right, I'm not going to watch."
Well, what's crazy is so I get to LSU, Danielle, and for us, I was talking about Kaya, her and Alona are like a package deal. And Alona ended up tearing her Achilles on Tuesday. And so I get there on Friday and she hadn't told me. And I immediately after the meet, I'm like, how do you not tell me? And she goes, Kaya told me not to tell you. And I say, for what? And she goes, because she was scared that you wouldn't want to come because I was like, I would not come. I was like, so then I had to go talk to Kaya. How you gonna tell her not to tell me? I mean, I need to be. You can't catch me off guard. I can't just show up and then see her on a scooter and not have any kind of knowing.
Gosh,
You
that's
girls, y'all set me up for all this sadness. I cry when y'all get hurt. Y'all don't compete. Like, golly, I'm gonna have to stick to just baseball. This gymnastic stuff's too much emotion.
no,
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 he's
no.
Jim's supposed to be my credible source, and I'm supposed to be able to like cite him when I get info and I go to him. I'm like, what's up with Alana? What's up with Danielle? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You're supposed to know. That's what you get paid for, is to know. And you don't know.
You said we don't get paid earlier.
I mean, I said,
Still
I don't
debatable.
get paid. Correction. I don't get paid. That's why I'm still drinking this
But
hot water,
but
man.
now that we know Danielle, I wish Oklahoma was coming to LSU this year so I could see it, not after the fact. But I did see her do her thing last year, and they did have no problem disposing of LSU, unfortunately.
LSU is such a great team that they're amazing.
Oh, let's call it what it is, Daniel. They're going to be your biggest competitor. Them in Utah, obviously. LSU is deep and legit. I think those three teams. Obviously, it's anybody's race, and it's early. And I'm not even saying this just based upon what I see in 1 week, but all the studying I've been doing, the sourcing Daniel's been talking about, the three of them's lineup are just on a different tier. I feel like than everybody else's. I
Awesome.
know you're not gonna say anything because I know you're a humble person, but I'm calling it. I'm calling it like it is.
Thank you.
He's just putting it out there. You know?
Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
when we look at this season, obviously you're delayed, which is fine. You know, you're worth the wait. So what is the excitement like? Are you gonna have to tame emotions when you get back out there, or is it gonna be you're gonna be focused, or do you not have an idea how you're gonna feel when you first step out there for the first time this year?
Um, I've actually had injuries my first 2 years too, and had to slowly build myself back up. And I would say it's gonna be kind of similar. I wouldn't say it's super emotional, but I would say I'm just gonna be more excited than anything. I'll definitely be focused and ready to go, but I think just more excited to be out there with my team and help them any way possible.
I would say, I guess if this season ends the way the other two did, you're happy with holding off on your start. So, um, you know,
Daniel,
go ahead.
I want to do this to you because it's what happens to me when I go to these gymnastics events. So I tell you about when a special person to me gets hurt. Breaking news just came across Ja Morant to undergo season-ending surgery for a labrum tear in his shoulder. You gonna be okay?
I'll be all right. I mean,
Look at you. You're holding it in.
I don't know how I feel. I mean,
He's a Memphis fan. Clearly, that's their best
you
player. So
Oh, okay, okay.
we'll talk off air, but
look, oh, it hurt. It's stomach. See, now you know how I
I
feel
mean,
going and watching these girls.
yeah, does it hurt? Yeah, because I just watched him play the best 2 games of basketball that I've seen him play all season. Obviously, he wasn't a part of one, but he was a part of the other. And now it's like, well, okay, now what? We just like it just I know the trajectory of the remainder of this season, and it's going to be grim. And it's almost like, well, that's one of the things that you look forward to is the basketball season. So now if it's not that, now what? So GTG. I guess that's all I can say. But
They are
last
the number 13.
Yep, up to 13. Last thing, Danny, before we jump into our game. So, what is the coach's message? Is it, hey, just, stay the course? Is it you got to get better? Is it like after one weekend, expectations are still really high, obviously, but what is the message?
I say for our overall team, I think just sticking to the plan. I'm not getting distracted by the little things. Every single week there's things to improve on, and we have to focus on those little details because the details is what differentiates each team. So I think focusing on the little things in and out of the gym is what's going to separate us. And it's honestly just sticking to the plan and just continuing to work hard and focus on the little things.
Absolutely. I mean, the big things are just a bunch of little things. So if you get all the little things right, you'll have no
I
problem tackling the big
all
things.
jokes aside, Daniel, they talk about how at home you can get favorable scoring, right? Well, they were in a place where they not only were at home, but all the other schools were. So you feel like the scoring definitely was the same. And so for them to score the best in the entire country week one, I think they've definitely set the tone that they're right where they want to be after 1 week.
I mean, when you stick landings, like it's hard to deduct points. When you're the best, it's hard to so um it's crazy. Just once again, I bring this up just because it is so difficult to be good for so long, and you guys have been great for a really long time. So we're excited to see you get out there. We can't wait. Obviously, it's going to be worth the wait. You know, if it's tomorrow, awesome. If it's 3 weeks from now, awesome. If it's next month, you know, whatever it is, we're excited. I know
You
you're
gonna
excited.
you gonna expose Bella to some Oklahoma gymnastics? His daughter.
Yeah,
Absolutely, that'd be awesome.
She's a Luisa Blanco fan.
Oh,
she
Luisa
is.
Blanco's so sweet. She's awesome.
She loves her some Louisa. So but yeah, I definitely will do that. It really comes down to timing when you guys are on where we can watch. SEC, unfortunately for you this year, but next year you'll be a part of the Friday night SEC network gymnastics. So that's always good.
Yes,
Um,
that's exciting.
ES, ESPN does it on Friday nights, but it's not until later in the season. So uh,
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if anything, you know, I'll try to put some YouTube on there. She's big into YouTube. She knows how to navigate it better than I do. And I'll say, hey, you need to check out this floor routine. If you think you're good at floor, check this out. I'll pop you up there and see.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
You'll probably be like, oh, she's so pretty. I like her leotard.
The leotards are the most fun things to
No,
look
I'm
at
gonna tell you,
anyways,
I,
so.
I I hate that I became a part of all that bickering back and forth on the forums because now when I look at Leo's, I make judgmental reviews that I used to never make. Like I hated Ohio State's, and I was sitting there thinking how I didn't like them. And I thought, when did I get to be this guy who actually cared what the Leos look like? What is going on?
You're so invested now.
I know. Golly.
It's great.
That's strange. What's not strange is we got to move to this or that. It's a game that is sweeping the country, and it's a slow sweep. It's not like a really quick sweep. It's a slow sweep. So, like you know,
Yeah.
in two
I don't know.
years,
Everyone's talking after what you did last week.
what did I do last week? I don't know. I don't know.
Smoking toast.
I
Smoking
mean,
toast.
you know,
He
we
he
might find
mixed
out.
and matched a couple sunflower seed flavors from our sponsor and made the best combo he's ever made. And I mean, he was feeling it. I started sending it out to players and coaches, and they're
It,
all solidifying his thought process.
Nice. That away.
hey, I'm doing what I can. So, you know, with that, the game, obviously, if you're down to play, are you down to play?
Yeah, I'm done play.
All right, let me tell you the rules. It's very simple. All right, I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. Just pick whatever, you know, pulls at your heartstrings, whatever you think of first. Just be decisive.
Okay.
All right, Jim, tell us who this or that's brought to you by.
I feel like after bringing it up, I gotta still say Chinook Cedar. We can pick any sponsor when we do this, and usually the baseball guys get Chinook Cedar. I'll go ahead and say Memphis City and the, in off the bench apparel. Obviously Swamper Athletic Collection. We got the posters. Danielle's gonna be getting a poster for Brent here soon, but I gotta do Chinook Cedar. 8 flavors, mild to wild. Daniel, please tell me you're gonna do a taste test with 2 new ones today. I need it. I need it.
I got you. I got you. Tonight is what I'm calling the Wario. All right. And it's the Wario because you're taking a Parmesan pepper. And I think of like a Mario, like a Parmesan pepper, you know? And then you add a little spice to it, a little naughtiness, a little kick. a little jalapeno ranch is what we're throwing in there. So
Okay.
the Wario is 3 jalapeno ranch, 3 Parmesan pepper. Here we go. 3 of each, throwing them back. Let's go. So the first thing that hits, what do you think the first flavor that hits is, Jim?
It's got to be that jalapeno.
You would think,
It's
but
not parm.
it's the pepper.
Really?
For whatever reason, I'm tasting the pepper. So a nice little pepper, and then a small hint of Parmesan. The ranch is not really a whole lot there. You know, maybe deep down in the bottom of the bag, you might get the little ranchy ones, but this is definitely not better than the smoking toast.
Oh, I can tell the smile that you had last week. Like
Oh,
I thought you were
yeah.
playing me. I thought it was gross, to be honest, and you were setting me up, and then you come out with that rating. Uh,
This one's a 7.6. Not bad.
dramatic drop though from last week.
Oh, last week was phenomenal. Like, I almost wanted to do it again. So
7.6 is still solid.
Yeah.
It's worth everyone trying.
yeah, 7.6, the Wario, Parmesan pepper, jalapeno ranch. Like I said, can't go wrong. What I'm learning, Danny, is that you can mix and match any of them. You can just throw just whatever. Just
What's
like,
going to be crazy is when you have to start doing like
Absolutely.
3 of them because you've done all the combinations of 2.
hey yo.
That's when
But
things get.
yeah, what I'm dreading is the dill pickle when I have to start mixing and matching that.
Because you don't even want to do it here. I'm not doing the dill pickle. I know how I feel about pickles. I'm not even going to try it. You're a better man than me.
I'm committed, so
But all it takes is somebody to challenge me because Will Levis once challenged me to put mayonnaise in my coffee and I did it. So
Ew, what?
the
Yeah.
quarterback from Kentucky, yeah, it actually wasn't that bad. I like the banana with the peel on too, if I'm just being honest. Have you heard about that one?
You.
It's very healthy. Very, very, very healthy. I'll do
I'm
any
sure
challenge.
it is.
The bean thing was the challenge. The only challenge, Danny, I have yet to fulfill that I've been given on this show is by far the hardest one, easily. We have had some big time MMA fighters on here, and there's a Bellator fighter who's a top 10 light heavyweight. I'm supposed to spar with him. I'm just trying to decide if I want to have the possibility of going into a coma with my wife and kids by fighting with this guy on this challenge. And he says he won't hurt me, but here's the thing. I'm a competitive guy. He said, so you just want to do it like a photo op, right? And I was like, no. I was like, I actually want to do it. He's like, well, I'm not going to hit you. And I was like, well, I'm going to hit you. And he goes, well, if you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And I was like, that's my point. I don't know how to get in there and like not hit you. So I'm probably going to hit him, piss him off, and then he's going to pummel me. So that's where we come to a problem. But I can't get in there with him and just do a photo op. This is for the people. Like,
Jim,
no different than
Yeah,
drinking
right?
mayonnaise coffee. I got to do it. The bean.
Jim,
I did it.
Jim, you better just get in there and do a photo op, brother. You better. Because it ain't going to end well for you.
The worst part is like
this dude, it ain't like me and you where we joke about getting paid for this. This dude really gets paid to beat people up. Like, he is going to demolish you.
I think the part that scares me the most is like usually if you're in like a boxing match, you could like tackle somebody, right? And you could just get yourself out of it. Oh, but he knows how to fight professionally on the ground, so I can't even like tackle him to end this thing. Like then it'll just hurt me worse and like choke me out to death. Like, there's no winning this. But you know what? We got to move on to this or that. I'm going to keep her here all night with our shenanigans.
You're right. All right. Easy question out the gate. Baked potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
I'm telling you, man. How do you like your mashed potatoes?
Well, like, what do you mean? Like with butter?
Butter? You put
Salt and
anything in
pepper.
some? A little salt, pepper?
Salt and pepper, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Some people are big with like gravy and mashed potatoes. Are you a gravy mashed potato person?
Not a big gravy fan. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't care for gravy on my mashed potatoes. I mean, maybe when I was a
Good
kid, I
either
was
way.
I think when I was younger, maybe, but that was like at school when that was like the only thing. But
I don't think there's any wrong way for any. First of all, I like every kind of potato there is, and then you can put whatever on them, and I'm good. Like potatoes are potatoes.
Mhm.
Go. All right, liquid soap or bar soap?
Liquid soap. I hate bar soap with a passion. I think it's like the worst thing ever made. I hate it so much.
And it was
Daniel, I have a different take after our episode last week because I did the episode by myself with Vance Honeycutt from North Carolina, and
uh-huh.
he explained to me the thoroughness in which you can clean your hands with a bar soap, and I'm kind of sold now. I mean,
I
he
don't
got
think
into
I researched.
real detail about how much he loves the bar soap and how clean you can get your hands.
I'm sure, but that is like if it gets in your nails, that's just annoying. And
Mhm.
it's just I always drop it and it slips out of my hands.
But he
So
said, what if your hands are wet and you squirt liquid soap in? It basically serves no purpose because it just really runs right off your hands. I see some bounce.
that,
That's why
that
this question's a lot deeper than it seems, Daniel. It's
that
not as
is
simple as it's made to be.
that is just not true. All
Hmm.
right, because all right, now it's got me thinking. All right, now my wheels are spinning. All right. Danny, do you go when you wash your hands with liquid soap? Do you
Mhm.
put water on your hands first, or do you just put soap on your hands first
I
and
put
then?
soap on my hands first.
You guys are crazy. Who
Why?
does that? No, I put water on my hands first, then get my soap, and
Yeah,
then get a nice little
it's one thing to talk about me that way, Daniel, but the defensive player of the year in college baseball, you're calling him crazy because he washes his hands thoroughly.
I'm borderline calling him insane.
Oh my goodness.
That's silly.
You put soap on, put a little water on, and then you scrub.
Geez, soap
You
on
never thought when I put
dry
this question in
hand,
there, it would
liquid
cause.
soap on dry hands just, God,
See,
just make
there was a
it.
reason why these questions were thoroughly researched. You thought this question was just going to be like, okay, whatever. It's caused great conversation.
I
Absolutely.
mean, you didn't put any of my new questions in there. I guess you
I don't
didn't.
know them. You're going to have to just ask them.
Oh man, I don't even know them. I don't think.
They weren't that good then.
Clearly. Next question. More afraid of snakes or spiders?
Spiders.
What is the
Finally on the same
worst?
team.
What is the worst spider that you can think of?
Um, I don't know. I don't like I spiders are probably my biggest fear, so I just don't try not to think about them.
Mine too.
I mean, I don't know. Any jumping spider
Daniel, for
maybe?
me, it's the brown recluse because I've seen people lose like limbs. Like the black widow just outright kill you. That one will get you. You won't know about it. Next thing you know, you got this large contusion and wherever it got you, and they're like cutting your leg off.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. No spiders for me. Mm-mm.
What I love, Danielle, is I see those massive like garden spiders where we are, and they're all colorful and everything, and they look even scarier to me. And I'll kill them, and then people try to sell me on, but they eat all the bad spiders. Man, all spiders are bad. It's not
That's
staying
what I'm
alive.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Why do we need the spiders? Like, I'd rather
It's
have
a question I have for God for real. Like I need to know what's the
Right?
reason.
Yeah, they kill
It's like,
the flies. That's okay. Something else can kill the flies, like the birds.
yeah, it's like it's mosquitoes. I would like to have a conversation with God just to ask him, what on earth were you thinking? Like I don't question a lot of things that you do, but that is one question where I was like, you were turning too much water into wine that day or something, because why would you do that to people?
Blood sucking insects.
Yeah, they only cause issues, so I'm not really sure.
Correct. Like, all right, we got to move on. All right,
Okay.
costume party or pool party?
Pool party.
Pool party. When's do you dress up for Halloween? That's the only time I
We
can think of like a costume party.
not really. I mean, as a team, I think we hang out at my coach's house or we get together and watch a movie or something. We don't do anything for Halloween, but for pool party, I live on a lake, so I love to be outside. So
Nice.
anything pool related or outdoors is kind of up my
All,
alley.
all 3 days that it's warm up north, you
Yes,
can
all
have a
three
party going.
days you
Now,
spend outside.
now here's the real question for you, Danielle, because this is what happened last episode. Let me ask you how you feel about four 19 to 21-year-old guys dressing up together as Teletubbies. Because me and Daniel really got thrown when the Wake Forest baseball players told us that, and I don't really know how to feel. Like it feels like it's cool because they went really out there, but it also just feels a little weird.
I mean, it's an interesting choice, that's for sure. I mean, I guess go for it if that's what you
See how
want,
sweet
but
she put that? She's really trying to say it's really weird.
and
It's
I
she's
mean,
she
that's what
goes,
you want to
it's
be. Good for
interesting.
you, but interesting choice. But
Yeah,
good for them, I
Not my
suppose.
cup of tea for sure, but if you win a championship, you can do what you want. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
for real. All right. New question. since I remember these.
Okay.
Mhm.
On the theme of parties, people have a party where they play a child's party where they play pin the tail on the donkey, right?
Okay.
You heard of that?
No.
Never heard of that?
Oh my goodness.
What is wrong with?
No, I have not heard of that.
Oh
Oh,
my
throw the
goodness.
question out. But
I
for real
mean,
though, I mean, I know we're old, Daniel, and that game's not really relevant now, but I don't think I've ever known anyone who hasn't heard of pin. You literally go pin the tail on the donkey while your eyes are closed, and it's whoever gets closest. Are we
yep.
that
Oh,
old, Daniel?
Yeah, it's like a stupid kids game. Like it is
okay, okay,
literally
okay.
like, but you spin the kid around, they're blindfolded, they take this like paper tail and they try to post it on a poster of a donkey and they try to like match the tail with where the tail goes.
Okay, okay.
All right. So that's one game. All right. And you usually have like little push pins or tacks that you use to attach. So,
Hmm.
or there's a game like the pinata. You know what a pinata is, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So this question is, would you rather be the donkey and pin the tail on the donkey or the pinata?
That'd probably be the donkey. Because you never know what you're gonna get hit with a piñata. Like it could be a metal bat. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like that would really knock you out. So I think I'd rather get poked.
it wouldn't be fun at all.
No, definitely not.
Would you rather be lost in a jungle or trapped in a haunted house?
Oof.
Lost in a jungle.
Probably trapped in a haunted house. If
That's
I'm
what I'm
thinking
talking
if
about.
I'm thinking logistically, I could probably get killed easier in the jungle by all these different animals and bugs. So
She
probably haunted
really is smart because she's the first one to say that. All these people have been saying, I won't do it on else. They ain't been in the jungle or thought about what's in the jungle.
house.
I just went on a tirade about mosquitoes. You think I'm going to the jungle?
No, you're gonna get a virus or something.
Nope. I'll deal with the spirits and the
I
Holy
always think
Ghost.
about it in those movies. I'm not even scared of snakes really, but still, nonetheless, if you were in the jungle where like the snake drops down out of the tree
Oh
on
gosh,
like
no.
around your neck, yeah, like I'm good. And that's on top of like not running across like, wild exotic cats that seem really
Right.
pretty at the zoo until it's chasing you in the jungle.
Exactly. It's so many factors in the jungle that you just don't want to deal with.
No, I'm good.
Daniel, I know this before you ask.
Too many things hunt at night in the jungle.
Before you ask your money question, she is the first multi-time national championship. Has plenty of national championships. First multi-time. So I feel like the money question hits different this time.
Well, I got one more pilot question that I'm going to try out with you. All right.
Okay, okay.
And I think this is becoming one of my favorites because it kind of makes people a little bit uncomfortable, but it's really funny. Um, so, would you rather, if you had to choose one or the other for the rest of your life, kiss like a dog where you just lick people, or kiss like a baby, like when they do open mouth kissing?
Can you repeat the question?
So, would you rather, if you had to pick one of these for the rest of your life, would you rather kiss like dogs, like you just lick, or kiss like babies where they do open mouth kisses?
Probably kiss like a baby.
That's really weird.
I
That's
think
really weird, but I feel like licking would be a little more weird.
I think he loves this question because Josh Hartle decided that he was not only going to answer but start doing the tongue thing when he answered.
Yeah, it it's very strange. Like
I
I
want to
have
know what made you come up with that question to begin with.
because
Did you have a baby? I
I
mean,
have a
please tell me
seven
that's your
month
defensive reason to have
yeah, I
like
have a
be thinking that.
7 month old that opens her mouth and like that's what she does. Like I'm like,
You get all the drool. It's not just the kiss, you get the drool too.
it's just like this is just strange. And then I was like, could you not just do something different? And then I thought to myself, well, what is the alternative here? So that's how this question was formulated.
Let,
Right?
let me let me
Seven
ask
month
you,
old.
Danielle, do you have dogs?
I do. I have two Springer Spaniels. They're
The
hunting
reason
dogs for
the
my
reason
dad
why
and my
I asked,
brother.
oh, got hunting dogs, nice. The reason
Yeah.
why I ask is my wife says I'm weird because I let my dog just lick all over my face. It doesn't bother me. I love my dog. She's always like it's gross. His tongue doesn't touch me. Where are you stand on this?
I hate I hate licking dogs. Like if my dog starts licking me, I just stop petting it. Like it just
You
bothers.
women are not loving people.
I'll pet any dog, but once it starts licking me, I'm done.
Mm,
I'm out.
mm.
No
So
thanks.
open mouth kisses for you.
Yes.
All right. Last question, and we'll let you get out of here. Would you rather, if I walked up to you and I said, Danny, I had a briefcase and I opened it up and it was cool, crisp, minty, $25 million. I said, you can have this, but in return, you have to give me both of your national championships. And you don't have the ability to win one this year. Would you take the money or would you keep your championships and still have the opportunity to win one this year?
I would keep my championships, I think. I think I've become the person I am today because of what I've gone through to win these 2 national championships. And I think, I mean, these memories and this time is it's so short and limited that it's kind of irreplaceable. So I would say it's more valuable than any money could.
That's why this was interesting because every other guest has had to think about giving up one. You've had to think of giving up two. And it's like you said, the person you became, but like a lot of the guests, men or women, just talk about the memories that come with it. It's more than just the hardware. It's everything that comes, the blood, sweat, and tears with your team. And they always say they wouldn't want to lose the memories. And I even got it flipped on me 2 weeks ago. Trey Lipscomb from Tennessee going to turn around and look at me. I'm supposed to ask the questions. He's going to look at me and say, would you give up your podcast for $10 million? I was like, yeah. He goes, no, 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 no. Like you ask us. He goes, you got to give up all the memories. You go to all the games with your son or your daughter, all the things you've done, all the people you've met, all that. And I was like, no, I don't want to give that up. He goes, exactly. And I was like, God, that's why I like asking the questions.
Yeah, I don't want to be asked the same thing. Yeah, I would just say it's just so surreal. I mean, the things that you endure with your team, it's really irreplaceable and money can't buy you that. So I think, yeah, it's pretty special.
You are going to end the episode this way. Going out like that, man, for 20, like, there's not a whole lot that I wouldn't just let you have for $25 million.
Fun fact, Daniel will let me. What'd you say the price? You say 100,000, I can get you a championship ring up there?
Yeah. Easy.
I get the memories that come with it.
Yes.
See, he's selling off his championship for
You
100
know,
grand, but he's got 2 kids. He said it'd be a lot easier to take care of with 100 grand.
That's true. That's true. I don't, so I guess maybe it'd be different, but
true. Like I say that just because the season of life that I'm in, like that would be life changing. And believe it or not, I'm a very big team player. So this national championship that I do have, like, you know, I would give it up because I'm being a team player with my family, because I know of what it could do for my family. So so there's that. So
that's wholesome.
that
That
way,
that
yeah, that way I'm not just a jerk. Like this guy's all, he's all about money. He's talking about not getting
no,
paid
no.
for this podcast. He's talking about, I got you. All right, Danny, anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
Um, plug my team. I mean, my team, I just so grateful for, and I think we're gonna have a great season. So, I would just love to reach some more Sooner fans and bring people to more meets. So,
And stay tuned because her poster is going to be out with the Athletic Collection, our official sponsor. You're going to
Let's.
have your poster.
Where are you gonna put her poster? Like, you got to start covering up these jabronis in the back.
I'm not covering up the LSU guys. Somebody from Tennessee or Arkansas or Mississippi State's coming down. I ain't taking down LSU for nobody.
You tell Paul,
Nobody.
you tell Paul Skeens when he gets a professional athletic collection, he can go back on that wall.
I'm going to see him every 2 weeks going on the rest of the season because he's going to be at every gymnastics meet. So I'm not telling Paul nothing. Look, hey, one last story and we will let you. Danielle, Paul, I watched him through the whole meet. He was sitting a couple rows down and over, and obviously he's dating Olivia Dunn. And I didn't know how. I had to talk to him afterward to see how he felt about the meet because it's the same way he plays baseball. He doesn't show much emotion. And so he's watching and he's not like smile. He's giving the 1,000-yard stare. This is a military guy, all his family is military. And I can't tell for the life of me if he's enjoying watching this or not, because that's just him. You wouldn't know that he likes playing baseball. And so afterward, like I asked him, he's like, yeah, man, that was cool. But like I had to know because watching him, I mean, I can't tell if he's bored to death, loving it, or asleep. Like he's just staring. No emotions. Hard, hard.
It's funny.
All right. Well, Danielle, I'll help you out. If you want to know what Danielle's up to on a Monday night, maybe she's recording a podcast. Who knows? Maybe it's Tuesday and it's Taco Tuesday. You never know. Maybe it's practice. If you want to know more, you want to see what's up in her world, go on over to IG at Danielle Sievers. Or if you want to know what Oklahoma Gym is up to, you want to see when the meets are, when highlights, hype videos, you name it, IG at OU_W gymnastics. I think I got that right.
You did.
They didn't make that one easy.
No.
It's usually just like OU gymnastics. They had to throw an _W there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But do you know why, Daniel? Because unlike most
They have
schools, they
a
have a men's
men's-
team. Exactly.
Yes,
I
we
mean-
do.
I mean, so some people have like nicknames for the women's gym teams. Do you guys have a nickname?
Like, what do you mean?
Like Georgia, they're like the gym dogs, or
Oh, no, we're just the Sooners.
They just call each
We don't
other
have a cool nickname.
best, the greatest
No.
of all time.
clearly you don't need one is the thing. So Danielle, we hope and need to see you soon. So best of luck. Hope you get healthy, and when you are healthy, you stay healthy and you have a ton of fun this season. And I hope it's a magical ride for you guys. And once it is a magical ride, we want to bring you back on and talk about it. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. That's Danielle Sievers, everybody. If you like hearing Danielle's story, or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, love. We'll take it all. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. We got episode 6. We're going to be talking Mississippi State dance with Hannah Stutz. We got Wednesday, Memphis baseball with Jacob Compton. And Jim, Pros and Joes Thursday. Who we got?
Yeah, Andrew Pinckney and Elijah Nunez, formerly of Alabama and TCU.
Man, it is a star-studded, jam-packed week, and I'm glad Danielle could kick things off this week for us. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.